Today we're doing a review of this guy, the Topo Designs Apex Global Travel Bag Roller. Wow, that's a mouthful. And just like there's a lot of words in the name of this bag, there's a lot of features in this bag as well. And in this video, we're gonna take my experience of reviewing 600 plus of the world's best bags, and we're gonna tear this thing apart. We're gonna pack it out. I'm gonna give you my brutally honest pros and cons, and you're gonna wanna stick around to the end of the video, because if this is not the suitcase for you, I'll make a couple of suitcase alternatives so you can get an idea of what the best options on the market are and figure out if this thing is a ripoff or if it's worth it. Let's talk about the gist of the Topo Designs Apex Roller Travel Bag. Topo Designs is a US brand. They're known for making really quirky but very functional travel gear. And we've been a big fan of a lot of their different bags. We've reviewed backpacks by them and messengers. But this is the first suitcase, and it's a very interesting suitcase. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. But before I tell you why, let me run you through some of its top features. Most notably is it's a hybrid, as to where the back is a hard shell and the front, very soft. It's also sort of built like a backpack, where you have a big clamshell opening pocket here, a quick access pocket here, and removable backpack straps. And we're gonna talk about these in detail 2 chapters from now. We got classic suitcase style opening into a main compartment that has a bit of organization, including 2 mesh pockets here and a divider panel. And possibly most importantly of all is the fact that this is a 2-wheeler, which again has its own unique set of pros and cons, and we'll talk about those in detail in the next chapter. The roller comes in weighing around 6.5 pounds, which by suitcase standards, on the middle side. Not the lightest, but not the heaviest. As of recording, the roller comes in 2 color options. All Topo products are protected by a reasonable lifetime warranty against manufacturing defects. And for all that, this roller runs around $359 USD. Now, moving forward, that price point is gonna be our North Star to help us determine if this bag is worth it or if it's overpriced. But if at any point during this review, you're thinking to yourself, damn, that is actually the dual-wheeled backpack suitcase combo of my dreams, and you're gonna pick one up, we do suggest doing so with the first link in the description below. 2 reasons for that. First of all, that link makes sure that you get the best price, and we oftentimes have discount codes. But secondly, that link also helps to support the Nomads Nation YouTube channel and team, so we can keep making the best gear reviews on the web. Thank you very much. Okay, let's talk about the outside of the Apex Global Travel Bag Roller. Starting with the overall theme, where we have this half softy, half hardy 2-wheelers. And this is a very interesting take on a suitcase. They didn't innovate this. I've seen it done before, but this is for the type of person who wants to pack a little bit more, because a softy can always pack a bit more than a hardy. I don't know if those are actual terms, softy and hardy. But fabric like this gives you a bit more malleability, so you can just kind of shove some extra stuff in there. But also, these are less likely to crack. And by these, I mean this style. It actually kind of defies logic. You think that the hard shell would be less likely to break or be more durable, but actually it's less durable, depending on what the primary fabric is. Which for Topo, we're using a few different nylons. We've got a 400D and a 1000D. Both are gonna be very, very durable, tear resistant, and you can see that there's a WFCS coating. That's what gives the bag its matte finish and look. A little shiny, a little glossy. And that coating is gonna give the bag a lot of weather resistance, but coatings like this are usually plastic. Not always, but they can be, which means that it can potentially peel over time. There's no way to know if that'll happen with this particular fabric or not, but the same thing with these PU-coated zippers here. Great for blocking water, possibly not great for peeling. We got some external lash points here, so you can clip things onto your bag if you just have a simple carabiner, or you can even get a bungee system. Maybe put like a sweater on the outside of your bag, strap it into place. On the bottom, we have this metal bar right here, which just helps to provide stability when the suitcase is standing. And I gotta say, this is a pretty good self-stander. A lot of these suitcases have a tendency to fall backwards when they're empty. And that's further amplified by these chunky wheels. These wheels in our testing felt smooth, but I don't think they're a brand name. Like for instance, we have tested a lot of suitcases that use Hinomoto wheels, a Japanese wheel brand, like the nomadic suitcases, they use them and love those wheels. So I'm a little less jazzed up when I don't see a brand name on here. The handle, not too wobbly, your average wobbliness. Nothing super groundbreaking here. Top handle is not my favorite. There's not a lot of space to get your fingers in there. Same thing with the side handle. It's a plastic sort of sheet, which when you're carrying this bag, it's 44 liters. So when this is decked out, these handles are going to suck. Like just absolutely suck. But one nice thing about them is if you don't really use them, they're very flush and out of the way. A lot of suitcases have kind of really bulky handles, or they're very, at least expensive, right? They have the classic plastic feel where they pop out very satisfying way. But on the good side, they're quite flush. They're not too bulky, and they're not like the high-tech handles that have that pop-out effect, which means they are bringing down the overall price of the suitcase because of it. But really though, getting back into the use case, 2 wheels is better than 4 for a lot of reasons because, well, half as many wheels equals half as many potential braking points. Because if your wheel breaks on you mid-travel, the suitcase is going to be it's gonna be a terrible experience to lug that thing around. And if you ever watch, pilots typically always bring 2-wheeled suitcases. They're more durable, they can handle more rugged terrain. They're just bigger. I mean, these are monster wheels, right? Think about the 4-wheelers, just little guys, right? They're a little bit more dainty, but they offer a significantly more luxurious experience. You know how good it feels when you're doing the 4-wheeler and you're just gliding on the airport, like skating on glass. So pros and cons of that. I'm curious though, if you're watching this, what's your preference? Do you wish that this was a 4-wheeler and it was a 4-wheeler with the half backpack design situation we got going on? Or do you like the hybrid with the 2-wheeler? Let me know what you think about the wheel situation in the comments below. Now, the other thing to talk about on the outside of this is the backpack shoulder straps, which I just don't think we can really cover until this thing is fully packed out because you're not getting the full experience. So let's jump into it and talk about the inside of the Topo Apex Global Travel Bag Roller. So this is where the bag is really interesting though, because like I said, it sort of operates like a backpack where you have these 2 quick access pockets. Think about it, most suitcases are just a hard box where everything goes inside the box. But Topo's screw that, let's bring some functionality and some accessibility to our suitcase. But they didn't say, let's bring a nice highlight effect inside the bag because they used a black lining, which I personally hate. It is great for hiding dirt, I'll give them that. But it just makes the whole bag a black hole. Look how dark it is in there, not a fan. Inside this pocket, there's no additional organization, just a big old panel the size of this here. And then inside this pocket, we got 2 lining pockets and a zippered pocket at the top. Now these pockets aren't enormous, but that's perfect because that's what it's designed for, to hold your smaller bits of gear. So in this pocket here, I'm gonna throw my bulky over-the-ear headphones. You can see this pocket has a decent amount of volume to it. So my Sony XM-H5s fit perfectly. Notice though, we're not getting a full satisfying clamshell opening here. And the reason being, we have these theft deterrent nylon tabs on the zippers, which will help with theft deterrence for sure, but kind of screws up accessibility. What you can do is take these zippers, which are huge, by the way. These are number 10 YKKs. It's crazy how chunky they are, but they feel very durable. But anyways, you can take these zippers and bring them underneath these nylon tabs, therefore adding some theft resistance to your bag. These zippers though are extremely difficult to open and to close, and that's because of the weather resistant PU coating right here. It's plastic, right? So it's plastic on a zipper, not the way the zipper gods intended for things to go. And then also you're gonna get some interference with the lash point here, and then you're gonna get some interference with the things here. It's not the smoothest zipper experience. Inside here though, we can throw passport, pens, battery, AirPods, throw a book in here. Basically what we're doing is we're kind of taking out the need for a personal item or a backpack, let's say, because all your quick access stuff is in here. This is obviously not a roller that's going underneath the seat in front of you. It goes in the overhead bin. And then if you want to grab your AirPods real fast or grab your reading book, that accessibility is sort of what this roller is built for. That and apparently being able to be worn like a backpack, but we'll talk about that in detail very soon. Don't worry, it's coming. Now, this thing has a monster capacity in the main compartment. Unfortunately, it's all black on the inside as well, but I think it's bigger than 44 liters. Check it out. I got 1 week's worth of clothes packing cubes here and my 2 smaller packing cubes here. And there is probably enough space to almost double up on all those packing cubes in this main compartment. Wow, this thing is huge. Then you got a bit more organization here and here as well. This mesh, not my favorite. It's kind of cheap, but it does provide a little bit of see-throughness in case you need that. It could be a good spot for flatter items like your notebook, packable tote. Notice though, no real designated tech solution in this bag, which I think is gonna be great for a lot of people who just don't vacation with laptops. Close that up. Now let's talk about the moment we've all been waiting for, which is backpack mode. Now here's the deal. When doing our research and testing this out, we noticed that Topo, while flaunting this as the third most important feature on their features list, didn't have a single photograph of it being used in backpack mode. Neither just as the product or with a model wearing the product, which I thought was suspicious. And I also thought marketing this as a backpack was also suspicious because, wow, this is weird. Is this what a child feels like when they're wearing their dad's backpack? Do I look cool, Sig? Do I look totally awesome? I feel amazing. Just kidding. I feel insane right now. But you know, it's honestly not as terrible as I thought it was going to be. It's not comfortable. Like, this is very, very bad. All the stuff in here is pushing on all the small things in here, right? So my Sony headphones are just shanking the kidney right now. But having said that, this could be an interesting feature for the right person, because although it's not perfectly executed in a way that, like, it's not very comfortable, it could be used in a pinch for the right traveler. What I'm getting at is this: that any product that tries to do multiple things very well ends up compromising, and none of those things end up being excellent, and everything ends up being kind of good. This backpack mode is actually not good. It's kind of bad, but it's not a backpack. Look at this bag as what it really is: a roller that they attach some removable backpack straps to for when there is a dire emergency and you need it. Because if you go into it with that mentality, and there are those times where you just don't want to drag this thing behind you, and going into backpack mode for some reason is going to be more convenient, then this thing is actually quite cool. I don't know what those reasons would be. If you let me know in the comments below, like I understand why you might not want to use a four-wheeler. Like if you're on those European, Italian cobbled street, like the four-wheelers do not glide over that. So then being able to put this in a backpack mode would be cool, but you can two-wheel over those cobbled streets, no problem. So I'm having a difficult time identifying a use case for when you would need these straps. But again, if that appeals to you and you're cool with this thing being a suitcase as a very, very, very first place and a backpack all the way over there in a different stratosphere, then it works. Not a comfortable fit. This is not a back panel. These are not great shoulder straps, but for a little hauling here and there, it gets the job done. The straps are completely removable too, so you can go ahead and slide them off. A little more difficult to get off on the top because the handle is blocking them, but you can do it. Sort of adding to the reasons why you wouldn't want to go into backpack mode, if you ask me. And then backpack straps, be gone. And then you're in clean suitcase mode. A couple more quick features. Although this is on the outside of the bag, I wanted to show you in this chapter, this piece of hardware can buckle into place and tighten, therefore giving you a bit of compression, I guess. I'll be honest, again, I'm pretty lost on what that is actually accomplishing. I find this suitcase to be random, or I don't understand niche, specific intended use cases for these features. And if so, I'm wrong on something, please educate me in the comments below. I'm just a bag enthusiast, not an expert. Then we have another zippered pocket right here as well. This pocket has a very tiny little key leash, and the pocket also has a bit of volume, a little bit of depth to it. So you can actually put, obviously your passport and your wallet in there, but it also can fit something bulkier like your AirPods, maybe a snack. Again, it's just a small, quick access pocket for whenever you need it. Now, real fast, before we jump into the most important section where we talk about the pros and the cons, I want to let you know that if you're enjoying this little chat, this little sit down, then welcome again to the Nomadization channel. But I also want to tell you that here at Nomadization, we don't just do reviews on our YouTube channel, but we also have the Nomadization newsletter. But in the newsletter, we don't do reviews. We actually kind of take a step back and look at the industry as a whole. And by the industry, I mean anything that's related to travel, EDC, gear, carry, that whole sphere that I'm personally obsessed with. Because it's amazing. This whole industry is going through a revolution right now. We bring that revolution to your inbox once a week with the newest releases, limited edition collabs, the best deals, industry trends, and everything in between. So if you travel a lot, you're really into EDC, or you're a hardcore carry nerd, you're definitely gonna wanna sign up to the Nomadization newsletter, which you can do by finding this globe emoji in the description below. Hope to see you in your inbox. Okay, let's talk about the overall pros and the cons of the Topo Designs Apex Roller. Pro number one, quite versatile. This bag can do a lot. Pro number two, it's huge. That main compartment is enormous. And pro number three, it's very rare to get this many quick access options on a suitcase. But on the flip side, let's talk about some potential cons you gotta consider as well. Con number one, for some people, 2 wheels, gonna be a deal breaker. Con number 2, these zippers are just really difficult to use because of how chunky they are and because of the PU coating. And con number 3, I think that the backpack mode is not gonna be the dream that a lot of people are hoping it would be. I know a lot of people might be here because I read every comment on this channel and so many people are looking for that perfect fusion backpack suitcase, and it doesn't exist and it won't ever exist because you can't have 2 polar opposite products do the same thing into one but also be independent. It's never going to occur because a suitcase and a backpack, to be excellent at both things, they have to be different. This is a good to excellent suitcase depending on what you need, and an awful backpack. But it does have the straps in case you need it. But if you're still here, there's a good chance that this is just speaking to you. This product fits your use case. You're probably gonna make a purchase. And if that's the case, just a reminder, we do request doing so with the first link in the description. That link, just make sure you get the best price, and if we have any discount codes, that's what they'll be. But if you're not quite sold on the Topo roller, let me give you 2 alternatives you might like a bit more. Alt recommendation number 1 is going to be the Bag Smart Blast Roller Backpack. Great pick for you if you're looking for a 2-wheeler soft shell suitcase that can also do backpack mode, but I think it can do backpack mode better. And the reason being, the straps work on this side, which although it's hard shell, it's less hard shell, it just actually works pretty well in backpack mode. It's not a great backpack, but it works better, in my opinion. And it's coming in at a much more accessible price point. And my second alternative will be the Bellroy Light Carry-On. Great pick for you if you're in the market for a 2-wheeler soft shell, but you don't need the backpack mode, but you do like a bit of quick access. This is actually like Bellroy took their light travel backpack, one of my favorites, and just popped some wheels on it. And it's really light and really beautiful. And the zippers are gonna be so much smoother, but it won't be as weather resistant, but it's got a lot more premium of a fabric, but it doesn't have as good of a warranty. This is the problem. There's no perfect suitcase out there. You just gotta find the one that ticks the most boxes for your needs. And if this is it, awesome, but it also might be the alternatives. And if you wanna learn more about the 2 alternatives, you can just go ahead and watch these videos here. If you got any questions, be sure to let me know in the comments below or in the Nomads Nation subreddit. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Aaron, this is Nomads Nation, and we'll catch you next time.